Welcome back to Under the Tights, powered by Heroes Comics, right here in Fresno. It's Shaw on Highway 41. I'm Rash in the Morning Blaze here at 105.1 The Blaze, and today we're talking. I didn't just pick my nose; that was a scratch. I promise. We're talking about The Defenders, the new Netflix series that's coming out a little later on this year. It's going to team up all of the previous Netflix Marvel characters, so Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, all on one show. And if you've been watching those, the kind of common theme for all four of those shows has been the Hand, which has been kind of this shadowy criminal element that's been involved in every one of those shows. So that's going to be kind of the main villain. They all team up together to fight. Sounds really, really cool. They've been working on this really for a while, last few seasons of all of those shows. They kind of knew which way this was going to go. But what's really interesting to me about branding it as The Defenders is that for comic book fans, The Defenders is something that's been around for years. The original Defenders was presented by Marvel in the early 70s, and the original team was the Incredible Hulk, I think Doctor Strange, and Submariner, who's never really been a character that I was a big fan of. But those were the original three characters that were part of The Defenders. And over the years, there have been several characters that have mixed in and out. Several people have had connections to the Defenders, if not being official members. Silver Surfer, I think Spider-Man was in there for a hot minute. Iron Fist was a Defender. But what's really cool to me about this is that Marvel Studios is doing a very similar thing with Defenders that they did with Guardians of the Galaxy, at least in my opinion. What they're doing with this is they are taking a brand that's a little lesser known, but known to comic book fans, and rebranding it for the screen for a more broad-based audience. And I have no doubt that if we have this same conversation a year from now, if I say The Defenders to you, you'll never know the Incredible Hulk was ever part of it. The Defenders will be these four people: Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Iron Fist. I'm really excited to see how this all plays out. And if you want to get involved in watching those shows, you got plenty of time. I mean, this won't come on until later on in the year. You got a couple seasons of Daredevil you can watch on Netflix, one season of Jessica Jones, one season of Luke Cage, and the season of Iron Fist that they just released a few months ago. Catch up on those over the summer. Catch The Defenders when it comes out this fall. And if you want some background comic-wise, well, forget the old Defenders of the 1970s, because that's not going to relate. There is a new Defenders book that's actually out today that you can pick up at Heroes Comics that's based on these four characters. So they're going to start a comic book arc to match, which is kind of the way they've been doing a lot of books. If you've been reading comic books for years, you're kind of noticing that there's been some subtle changes. Some of the characters you've known that have kind of been matching up with especially the TV shows a little bit. So this, not too different, but I'm excited to read this book. It's out today at Heroes Comics. There's also a new Batman story arc that's out today as well. So go check out those things. Get ready for The Defenders by watching those Netflix shows, and we'll catch you next time on Under the Tights, powered by Heroes Comics. It's Shaw and Highway 41.